Viewers, Patrick from Williamsburg Blue Pirate Games Galore here, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to the first Q&A video. And before we get started with this video, I want to wish all of my friends and family a very happy Thanksgiving. And let's get into it. So starting with Rita Gorsuch, she asked, when is Meet the Pirate Night? Will you be filming that? Are you going to do both boys and girls home games? Those are all really good questions. So to answer the first question, when is Meet the Pirate Night? I want to know the exact same thing. So, Diane Brenner told me that they are having it, but they haven't mentioned a date yet. But stay tuned. As for will you be filming that? Yes, I will. I am planning on doing that. And then she asked, are you going to do both boys and girls home games? The answer to that question is a very simple yes. So stay tuned. And then Polly Smith Estep asked, are you going to do junior high and varsity? That's a really good question. So I know 100% I'll be doing varsity. Now as for junior high, I am not 100% sure yet. So let me go into detail. So junior high starts around 4:30, and varsity starts around 7. So I might do a couple of junior high games, but it's really going to depend on when they are, because I want to avoid having games on Wednesday nights, so I don't have to worry about missing church. But if it's like on a day other than Wednesday, and there's no varsity girls or varsity boys happening, but there's just junior high girls and junior high boys, I will do junior high. So that answers your question. So those are all of the questions that I had received for today's video. So if you viewers want to know anything else about me, you can put your questions down in the comments below, or you can put them in the community chat of the group. And so I'm going to talk about just some things you viewers might want to know more about me. And starting off is, you viewers probably already know that I was a cheerleader in 12th grade. I did do junior high for 2 years under Kathy Mock, who used to be one of my teachers. And then I did varsity in 12th grade, and Melissa was the coach. And it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun things. We organized, no, we didn't, I don't think we really organized the pep rally, but we did have a part in the pep rally. So it was a lot of fun. So you viewers might be wondering, what was your favorite cheer you ever did during your cheerleading? Whether it was junior high or whether it was varsity. And that's a good question, a really good question. There are so many cheers we did during junior high and varsity, but if I had to pick one cheer from junior high, now even though I was still learning, my favorite one would probably have to be, I think when we did, so there's a cheer that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think those cleats are for? And then you stomp. So you move both of your hands, and then clap, and then at the same time that both of your hands are moving like a circle, you're stomping on the ground. Now, during basketball season, we would not say cleats because basketball players don't wear cleats, but we would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, what do you think those feet are for? So that's junior high. As for varsity, I think it's really hard to pick just one. But if I had to pick, if I had to at least pick maybe two, my first favorite one would have to be, and it actually has a real interesting backstory. So one of the cheerleaders, Alana Bowmaster, her mother actually helped out Melissa with the cheerleading, and she made this cheer up. I think she made it up, and it went. So here's how we did it on the bench or on the bleachers. It would go 4 and 4 is half of 16. All for the Pirates do the lean. And then what would you do when you get to the lean part is, now normally every other person would lean forward on the bleachers, and then the other people would lean backwards. But when we did it on the floor, not fully up front on the floor, but near the bleachers, we would actually change the moves a little bit. And this cheer actually has one of my favorite moments also that I'll be mentioning coming up. That's my first favorite. My second favorite would have to be when we do, I would have to probably say Pirate fans are, so there's a cheer that they did during varsity football when I was in junior high, and I remembered going to the varsity games, and I remember them doing this, where they said, Pirate fans, are you ready? And then Pirate fans would say ready. And then then the cheerleaders would say, Pirate fans, are you ready? And then they would say ready. And then we would all go to boogie, boogie, boogie down, boogie down. And then they would say to boogie, boogie, boogie down, boogie down. And they would repeat it. And we did an interesting version of it when we did it during junior high. It was an interesting one. So instead of doing Pirate fans, are you ready? They would say our names, and then they would say, this person, are you ready? And then we would say ready back. And then we would come together at the end. So that's one of my favorite cheers I ever did during my cheerleading years. My other favorite would have to probably be, now, Kathy Mock, she thinks that this cheer might need a change. Something just doesn't sound right when we do this cheer. Now, there's a cheer that goes, so we say burr. It's cold in here. There must be some pirates in the atmosphere. And we do some really nice moves. I might play a video of that in this video. I'll play you a clip of that. I'll actually play a clip of that for you right now. Here's an example of us cheerleaders doing that cheer. That's another favorite cheer that I did during my varsity season. Now, something that Kathy Mock didn't like about the cheer is that we said, Burr, it's cold in here. We're in a gym with like around 1,000 to maybe a million fans in the stands. It's not cold. It's hot. So it would have sounded better if we would have done, Burn, it's hot in here. There must be some pirates in the atmosphere. And then, we would do the O. And then we'd probably say something. But one thing that was fun about that cheer was one time when we were in playoffs, Bailey Detweiler is usually, so when we get to the part where Lily would say, slow it down now, and then we would say, O. Ice. And then Bailey Detweiler would usually be the one that says, break it down now, but two of the times during the season, I would have to say break it down now, and it was pretty. And when I watched it, looking back, it was interesting. It was kind of funny at the same time, but you know. So those were my favorite cheers I did during my cheerleading years. If yours are probably wondering, what was your favorite part about cheerleading? What did you like the most? Great question. I would have to say my favorite part is probably getting to get out on the floor and do some really fun cheers. I'd have to say probably also just getting to travel to some of those places you've never been to before, and even the places that are like a distance away. Like, for example, I think the furthest we've went during basketball season, and I think the head coach could probably attest to this, or maybe say maybe say somewhere else, but the furthest we've had to go for a basketball game during playoffs would probably have to be Katanning. And it was a really fun trip. I'll tell you that part in just a moment. But I just enjoyed being able to go to different places. Like, we went to Crescent, to Mount Aloysius College. We went to Bellefonte at the Bald Eagle High School. And just going to those different places to watch basketball and getting to cheer for the team definitely was a fun experience. Now, speaking of that, you viewers might be wondering another thing. What was your favorite place that you traveled to during your senior year? Great question. I would have to say my favorite place that we went to for a playoff game. Now, there were so many places. And I would have to say probably one of my favorite places was probably, I'll probably say a tie between Katanning and Bellefonte. So, why Katanning? Well, it was a nice distance, and you got to see all the interesting stuff that you don't really see very often. And I'd say Bellefonte probably because since I'm like a train person, if you viewers don't know, I'm also a train kind of person. So I like trains also. And I just enjoyed, filming as we, went alongside the tracks on the way to Bellefonte. But I would say those were two of my favorite places that we traveled to during my senior year. Now, another thing you viewers might be wondering about is what was your favorite moment during senior year? And that's a great question. I would have to say one of my favorite moments during varsity season and during my senior year of cheerleading. There are so many. But if I had to pick just one, I would have to say all the times that we went to a championship game and we won, and I got to record the escorts. Those were my favorite moments. Everybody was having fun, and they were just having a really good time. Which, speaking of those escort videos, those will be coming up next week. So those are going to be a part of the announcements. So stay tuned for that. But I enjoyed going to the championship games. Those were always the funner games. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of fun games during playoffs, but definitely when we go to the championship games, like in Claysburg and Mount Aloysius College and Crescent, those were always the fun games. So, what was something now? You viewers probably are going to be wondering, what was the moment? What was a moment? What was your not so favorite moment during senior year? And that's a really good question. My not so favorite moment during senior year of cheerleading, I'm going to say all the losses during the varsity boys season. It seemed like our varsity boys were not that good. They just didn't do so well on both sides of the ball. And yes, they were making their shots, but then it seemed like that they were in a hurry, like they needed to catch a bus or something, and they would miss their shots. And it was always disappointing to see them lose. And I honest to goodness, I just could not take it. I almost quit the cheerleading squad because of that. I basically almost said, this team's not doing so good. I'm done with cheerleading. Basically, I said I quit. I almost did that. And I kept having that feeling that I just want to quit. Like, our team is not doing so good. We're just this is the worst team I'd ever cheered for. And we were able to get some wins and stuff. And then, obviously, the biggest disaster that occurred during the Varsity Boys season was when we lost to Juniata Valley in one of the most controversial ways. And that's what my not so favorite moment during senior year was. So for basketball this year, you viewers might be wondering, what team are you looking forward to doing the most? And that's a great question. I would have to say, since it's very hard to pick just one, because we got Ayla Heilman, she's a senior this year. We got Megan Palmer, she's making her return. She'll be playing for the first time since she sustained an injury. I'm not sure what kind of injury she specifically sustained, but getting to see her return, it's very exciting. But on the other side of things, Rowan Gorsuch is a senior this year, so it'll be exciting to be able to watch him play. And then at the same time, Jeff Detweiler will be making his head coaching debut this Friday. And it's going to be interesting to see how Jeff will do this year, and basically how our team will do in general with the new coaching change. So I would have to say, if I had to pick one, I'd have to say probably the Varsity Boys, just because I'm curious. How will we do with Jeff Detweiler as the head coach and Slajan Waite as the assistant coach? I'm curious. Is Rowan going to be able to score his 1,000th point? Which I don't even know how far he is from 1,000 points. If Rita's watching this, she might want to let me... Rita, if you're watching this, if you wouldn't mind letting me know how close Rowan is to 1,000, that would be great. But, anyways, I'd have to say Varsity Boys. Rowan being a senior and Jeff being the new head coach, it's going to be a very exciting season, hopefully. We get some wins and hopefully we make playoffs. Our boys have not won an ICC championship since 2022, so we just need to win this year for Rowan Gorsuch. So that's who I'm looking forward to doing the most for basketball season. Now I know Rita asked me this question during the last video that I did, which was the story behind Williamsburg Blue Pirate Games Galore. And she asked me the question of how did I get started as a videographer and as the videographer of the team. And she asked me the question of, what did get you interested in filming? And another question that you viewers are probably wondering about is, in addition to Rita asking me, did you learn from the games? Or did you learn a lot from the games? Some of you viewers might be wondering about is, what's something you want to improve on for next year? And that's a great question. I would have to say something that I'd really want to improve on is probably my for play-by-play and stuff. I'd have to say probably my calling and stuff. Now, you viewers probably know that during baseball season, I'd been trying to call a homer during 17U, and it's almost been successful. Like how many times? But it's been unsuccessful. And Rowan almost broke his leg, and I'd have to say the improvement for next year is probably going to be trying to make sure that I call them homers at the right time. Because I feel like I was calling homers at probably the wrong time during them 17U games. Which, speaking of baseball, for Jerry Palmer that might be watching right now and might want to know, what was your favorite baseball game you ever filmed this year? That's a great question. I would have to say probably my favorite game I ever filmed. Now, there's a lot of games that I got to film this year, but I have to say my favorite one might have to be when we played Northern Bedford. This is from a recording standpoint, not a, I enjoyed this game kind of standpoint, because we lost 15-0. But getting to try out that new angle and being able to just see a baseball game from a newer angle other than behind the fence, it was fun. That would have to be one of my favorites. As for like ones where we won, I would have to say probably let's see. I would have to say the Moshannon Valley game. That would have to be one of my favorite ones. There was a lot of great moments, and being able to watch Parker Crownover hit his walk-off base hit, and that moment with Jerry Palmer and Alex Brantner, that was really exciting and that was really fun. And then all the fun stuff that happened during that game, I'd have to say that's one of my favorite games I ever filmed during varsity baseball season. Another thing Jerry might be wondering about is, what is something you're looking forward to the most for varsity next year? And that's a great question. If there had to be one thing, it'd probably be being able to film more baseball games and being able to film from a new angle and also to be filming with a new camera and just being able to film from a newer angle and then also trying to call homers when needed. I'm looking forward to that. But if there had to be one thing I'm really looking forward to, and this was brought up during the graduation party back in July. So you have to have clearances in order to be around kids and stuff. And I was able to get on the bus for the basketball games when I was a cheerleader. But of course, it'd be interesting to be able to ride the bus to playoff games for the baseball team, so that way my parents don't have to take me if they don't want to. And that's something that's considered, it was at least considered. And especially since we might go some very long distances come next year if we make playoffs. So I'm really looking forward to possibly being able to ride the bus with the baseball team to playoffs and just enjoying it and being able to do it. And especially for the glory of my Lord and Savior and my Heavenly Father. That's what really matters when it comes to varsity baseball and everything that I do for this channel. So there's a lot of other questions you viewers might be wondering about. If you would like to ask me any more questions, you can put them down in the comments below, or you can also put them in the community chat, and I will answer it directly. So I'm gonna make some very important announcements, okay? And I was talking to all of the people that were in the group last night about these. So first of all, I'm going to stop doing the baseball and softball countdowns. Those are going to be suspended until March, or whenever spring starts, because they've been getting a very low number of views, and a lot of people told me last night to hold them till spring, and so that'll be on hold. And I will also stop doing the compilations for varsity baseball and varsity softball. So that will be suspended until spring. But one thing I will be continuing to do is I will continue to do the senior spotlights on Monday. So you viewers might be wondering who I'm going to be focusing on next. So I did Culver Bonds this week. So I'm possibly going to be doing Luke Uplinger next week, and then I might focus on either Carol Lansbury or Billy Harnish coming up. Haven't decided yet. But senior spotlights will continue. And there's a lot of great content that'll be coming out very soon. And I'm very excited for what this channel has in store, or what's in store for this channel, and being able to do Williamsburg sports and continuing to do varsity baseball and softball and 14U and all the stuff that I've done this year. I really look forward to doing next year. And so with the suspension of baseball countdowns and softball countdowns, you viewers might be wondering, what are you going to be doing Tuesday and Thursday? Okay, so I'm not going to do just one video during the week. There's going to be basketball games that I'll be able to go to and film. So I'll be filming basketball, varsity girls and varsity boys games. So there will be videos throughout the week. It's not just going to be senior spotlights. So stay tuned for those videos. And then also stay tuned for the 2 escorts that I did. Those will be up next. I'll actually have them uploaded next week. One Tuesday and one Thursday. And I am really looking forward to being able to film this basketball team. Seeing how our boys will do with Jeff Detweiler as head coach and Slajan Waite as the assistant coach. And then with the return of Megan Palmer, seeing how our varsity girls will do. And also, speaking of basketball, I do want to announce this too. I'm going to do a separate video next week about this, but I just want to give you viewers a little bit of an update on what, I don't know if I want to say what I've been working on, but this is a collaboration that was started all the way back in, I think, June. So, me and Jill are going to be starting a radio station, and it's going to be called WBRG. And basically, we're going to be like, so I'll be filming the games, and then I'll also be talking on. I'll also be on the radio at the same time. And so for the viewers that are not going to be able to make it to games, whether it's due to work or other reasons, they can tune in on the radio and be able to listen to the games. And the progress with that, like I told the community chat, is that I'll be, like I said, making a separate video. And I talked with Jill the one night, I think it was Monday night, and we are making plans for a date and time to talk about filming games and looking at schedules. So stay tuned for more information on the Williamsburg Blue Pirate Games Galore official group and also on YouTube for a video. So I just can't wait for all that's in store for this season. I hope you viewers are ready for what I have in store for you viewers video-wise and all of that. Well, that's going to do for today's Q&A video. I once again want to shout out all of my family members and all my friends. I want to wish them all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, viewers, for watching today's video. Be sure, if you like these kinds of videos, to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you can see all of the new content and all the new uploads. And you can also be notified when new videos go up on the channel. And thank you, viewers, for watching. Be sure you share these videos. If there's any Pirate fans you know of that want to watch these kinds of videos, share it with them. And that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you, viewers, for watching. And until the next video, this is Patrick from Williamsburg Blue Pirate Games Galore, signing off.